Hello everyone, it's Leo and it's time to talk about episode 23 from Wonderful PreCure, an incredible episode that brought us a lot of things. So many things happened today. I feel like this is probably the most packed episode of the whole season so far. I loved it. One of the greatest. I don't think it's my favorite because last week's episode is still my favorite, I believe, but this one is very close. So let's talk about it. Before talking about the episode itself, I just want to say that I feel like Wonderful PreCure is a season that is always moving its characters. The characters in Wonderful, they never really get stale. They never really stay in the same place. They're always changing, they're always evolving. At first, we had Komugi and Iroha in this pace, and then we had Yuki and Mayu, and now we have Komugi, moving again. And not only Komugi, in this episode, we also had Satoru, showing a little bit more of himself, and I really like it. So I'm going to start by talking about the Satoru scene we had, the little Satoru scene we had with Mayu. That is a very, very sweet moment in this episode. I really like it. So when Iroha arrives at the festival, Satoru blushes and Mayu notices that Satoru is feeling a different way. And we know since the start, even before the season started, we already knew that Satoru is someone who has a crush on Iroha. But he was never able to explore his feelings in the show. We know because he blushes whenever he sees her. Sometimes he has some interactions with Daifuku. But in general, he doesn't talk about those feelings. And finally, he was able to do that. And he did it because Mayu noticed it. And one of the things that I loved is that Satoru feels very real and understanding, not only about his feelings, but the situation he's in. He likes Iroha, he loves being together with her, but he does not want to say anything. And Mayu says, why not? You and her get along so well, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, well, we do, but as friends. And then Mayu notices, that's true. Iroha loves everybody. She loves the animals, she loves the people, and she loves everyone as friends. And with Satoru, it's probably the same thing. And so I like that he is very... he understands the situation very well. He doesn't want to force anything. I really like that about it. And that scene of him going to the ground, doing the knot in her geta. Is that how it's called? And then when he looks up, her face is very close to him and he gets all blushed because of that. I really love it. It was such a beautiful scene. And then there was another scene that I found very pretty, which was Mayu looking at Satoru and noticing Satoru's look towards Iroha. She noticed by the way he looked at her how much he liked her, how much he feels for her. So very poetic ways of showcasing Satoru's feelings, not only with words, with actions, but with the direction of the scenes as well. Really loved it. This episode was very pretty, like visually it was very beautiful. It was a delight to the eyes. The Satoru scenes were no different for sure. Now let's talk about the other event. The episode starts with Komugi having a dream, and that dream is going to be a key in Wonderful for sure, for the story of Wonderful. She is with the mirror stone, and the mirror stone is glowing brightly, and then she hears a wolf howling. And for me, it was a howl, but Komugi noticed that the wolf was crying. For her, that howl was a crying howl, and she thought the wolf was sad. And then we get them preparing to go to Tanabata, the Tanabata festival. We have Yuki not really wanting to go. Yuki does not like being around many people, but Mayu really wants to go. Mayu really wants to enjoy herself. And then we have a very random scene. I was like, will Sumire ever discover that Yuki is a girl now? And then she did discover in the most random way possible. And the face that she made, she was like, well, okay. Mayu was freaking out. But Sumire was like, work? Girl, that scene was everything. I loved it. Yuki did not care at all. And Sumire did not care at all either. And I loved her explanation. Like, okay, I was surprised. Just like I was surprised whenever your father sent me photos of those animals, like snakes and monkeys. And I was like, okay, girl, those are not the same thing for sure. But then she talks about the fact that when they came to Animal Town, she felt that something special was going to happen. I feel like Just Wonderful does not want to create a difficult situation with Yuki in Mayu's house. And so they just went by this very fast. I love how it went. Really, really love it. And the way she prepared both of them with the yukatas, they looked stunning. And another detail I loved was that both Yuki and Mayu had the obis of their yukatas in a cat form. And then we have Iroha and Komugi. You could say that they have like dog ear forms, but I also think they kind of look like butterflies, which is because of Cure Butterfly from Hiroga. No, I'm joking. Not because of butterfly, but because Komugi is a papillon, which is also a name for a butterfly. So her dog breed is a papillon. So they usually make this pun with a butterfly. Very nice. And then when they get to the festival, we have another scene that seems to be very important again, which is Yuki and Mayu are with Satoru and Daifuku. They're talking, they're just chatting and chilling. And then Yuki looks at Daifuku. She gets really close to Daifuku and says, well, this rabbit is not a regular rabbit. No, he's not. But then the scene gets interrupted by Komugi and Iroha, and she's not able to elaborate on that. I am curious now. I mean, what's going on? Please tell us. I mean, do not tell us now. Get us some room. Leave this mystery to the future. And then they get to make a wish. The wish scene, I feel like, is important for a couple of reasons. First, because both Komugi and Yuki are very centered towards their owners. And now it is time at least for Komugi to break this and, start thinking of other things, not only Iroha. Even though Komugi thinks a lot about Yuki, we could see that she was trying to get close to Yuki and Yuki was like pushing her away. She thinks of other things, but her main thoughts are usually Iroha. It's the same for Yuki. It's Mayu. But Yuki so far does not want to change, but Komugi is starting to open up. So we see them, making their wishes. I thought Satoru was going to make a wish towards Iroha, but no. His wish is to help the animals, same as Mayu, because, well, for them, this is the most important thing. But girl, come on. You can be a little selfish, I believe. And then when it comes to Komugi, she does not know what to wish for, at least for now. And she's going to think of her wish. And then they go explore some other areas, and they go to a shrine in which people create little statues for their animals that passed away. There was a statue there with a mohawk, and I was like, is that Kabaton? I made that statue for Kabaton because we don't have Kabaton anymore. I'm sad. But then they meet a new character who is going to be the mid-season cure. I'm joking again. I'm sorry. I really like that design. Very simple. It kind of reminds me of Yuri from Heartcatch a little bit, but it's a very beautiful design. And that character starts talking about the shrine itself and then also talking about the wolf, because Komugi mentions the wolf she dreamt of at the start of the episode. And then this character starts talking about the fact that in that place, there used to be lots of wolves in the past, and they don't exist anymore because they went extinct. And there is even a wolf shrine. There's a name for the shrine I don't remember. And there is a shrine for those wolves specifically, different from all those animals that all stayed together in one same place. There's one specifically for the wolves. And then Satoru starts explaining that that specific wolf is not does not exist anymore. They went extinct. And I just love how raw that scene was. It was very sad. You know, hearing the story of the wolf and how it got extinct, Wonderful PreCure did not hold back. It really gave all the responsibility of their extinctions to the human actions. And I love it. It's raw, it's real. You don't have to hide it. You don't have to glaze over it. Just say the truth. It was great. Love that. Love that for Wonderful. And then they get to the mirror stone. Komugi finally makes her wish. And when she's about to tell her wish, a garu attacks. And then, the girls transform and we have the action scene. This time, the garu is a swan, so the garu can fly. And then the garu goes to a different place, to a little river. And in that river, we have the Milky Way reflected. That also created another very, very beautiful scene in Wonderful. How incredible that scene was. I loved it. It was amazing. Damn it. It was really amazing. And then we have Komugi or Wonderful trying to reach the garu. So one of the things that Komugi noticed in her dream was that the wolf was crying. And we also know that the garu are suffering because of what they're doing. And that's what Komugi or Cure Wonderful is trying to do. She's trying to save them because she does not want to see an animal suffering like that anymore, all lonely, all despaired. She was like that once and she was saved. Now she wants to save the animals. And when she tries to do it, she cannot reach it. And then she's going to fall down and, Cure Friendly creates the barrier, the ribbon, and Komugi's there. Cure Wonderful and Cure Friendly are there. And look, again, love that. Another scene that I loved. Friendly jumps in and then she starts talking to Komugi like, oh, Komugi, Cure Wonderful, are you okay? And Cure Wonderful starts talking to her. I don't want to see any animals suffering anymore. And then we just have Cure Nyami relentlessly going after the garu. And then she was not able to do it either because, well, she cannot fly and the garu can fly. We know the cures in this season, they have some sort of limitations. We do know that. And so she creates a plan with Cure Lillian, but before that, she goes into the barrier as well, to the ribbon. And then she just looks at them. And it's so funny. They look at her with sweat drops in their heads. And she's like, the garu is way more motivated than both of you. And then she just jumps in and then she starts the action. She uses the Kidding Fawn power. I am loving the fact that Nyami is the one she is dominating the battles. We saw that since she appeared at the start of her episodes, that she dominates combat. And now she's not going towards combat. She also knows that the animals are suffering and now she has empathy towards them, but she is dominating the action. She creates techniques. She is the one to think of the situation that they're through and trying to do something. Obviously, I know that they have to sell the tambourine, but they're doing it in a very smart way. And applying the Kidding animal powers to Nyami and making Nyami think of a situation in combat, in action. I really like that. It matches her a lot. And the way she totally dominated this battle today, it was amazing. And the way she trusted Lillian to use her power at the exact right time, she knew it. She knew that she could trust Mayu, and obviously she did. And visually, again, very smart. The way the scene was directed, very smart. I really liked it. And Lillianette was able to stop the garu. I really thought that we were going to have Amity Lumiere, but we didn't, unfortunately, because I think this attack is super pretty. And so we had Friendly Berane, and we finally have the last kid-eating animal. It was very funny because like they healed the animal and they did not get the animal to Nico Garden. They did transformed and then they started talking to the animal, to the kid-eating animal. I love that the kid-eating swan is a diva. I love it. Even Mayu says, oh, it looks like a ballerina. But, you know, they were very tired. We know that happens with kid-eating animals or Nico animals that turn into garugarus. But it was very weird that they cut the transporting scene from this episode. Not complaining because this episode was packed. There was so much going on. And so, at the end, both Mayu's and Satoru's wish, and Iroha's in a way too, were fulfilled because they really wished for the animals to be safe. So the animals were safe at the end. They were all very happy. And Komugi's wish at the end was also fulfilled. Komugi's wish is for everyone to be friends. I still believe that her wish is not completely fulfilled because we have one creature that still needs to be friends with them, which is the wolf that appeared at the end. The wolf that is controlling the garugarus and is creating the whole situation is in the wolf shrine that we saw earlier in this episode. The girls didn't go there, but the wolf is there. Very menacing. Ooh, I cannot wait to see more of it. I just can't. Next week, all the kid-eating animals are together, and because of that, a mysterious egg is gonna appear. Very curious for this story. And we have a new ending as well. I love country. I love how they went with the country vibe for this ending. Very cute. I recorded my reaction. It's gonna be up tomorrow. I just did not want to put the two videos together. So releasing this one first and the reaction later. Anyways, babies, this was my opinion on episode 23 from Wonderful PreCure. Very huge, very important episode. Please leave yours in the comments. Let's talk about it. Anyways, this is it. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinema channel. If you're a member here on YouTube, if you're a member on Patreon, if you support me on Throne, thank you very, very much for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.